and I'm not going to tell you exactly what it was all about, but we will tell you that there were power outages in the region in which Mr. Chapman lives in, so we don't want to pinpoint exactly where he was in South America, but he couldn't get phone communication out, and that's why we had a longer show with Colorado Al. Thank God Colorado Al came in, and we did a 90-minute presentation. We have knowledge of basically that the communications are connected today, and Mr. Chapman is with us, and we're going to bring him up with the first question. Mr. Chapman, you've heard all the news about what's going on in the Gulf. What's it going to affect the financial wherefore? And we are glad that you are safe and well, and that you and Judy are having the blessings of prosperity where you are. Welcome to the show, Mr. Chapman.
Well, thank you. And yes, we did have an outage. I thought the thunderclap was so loud, I thought it was going to penetrate the building. But anyway, we got the internet back, but we didn't get enough broadband to be able to phone, and so I'm getting a big echo here.
We're working on it. Okay.
So anyway, that's why I wasn't there, and I was playing a golf tournament. Judy was as well, and I didn't win, and neither did she. But I almost got a hole in one, and I was closest to the hole in one of the short holes, so I won a watch, which I'm going to give to my grandson. Anyway, your first question is,
what's your feeling?
What's going on in the Gulf?
Oil industry in the Gulf of New Mexico versus the financial world of heretofore around the world. How does it affect it?
First of all, it's going to definitely negatively affect the economy in the United States. How it plays out elsewhere remains to be seen. I will have a tape link in Saturday's issue, which now is just a couple of days away, and it was one Alex Jones did earlier in the week, and he explains what the basic position is. And the position is this was definitely a false flag. No question whatsoever. Goldman Sachs sold 44% of their BP stock 3 weeks before, and they sold all the way up and into after the event happened. And they probably shorted against the box, which essentially means froze the rest of their position until, a later date, so they wouldn't lose any more money. Secondly, the BP president, CEO, sold 1/3 of his stock, and I hear he did the same thing. The president of the United States has investments at Vanguard, and the funds he was in at Vanguard had a lot of BP stock. They blew all theirs out, so he wouldn't be financially injured. Obviously, he told them what the story was. I just said, look, just do it and don't ask any questions. And then, of course, you have the Halliburton coming in and buying out the salvage company, Coots and Hoots or whatever it's called. And I have a report coming either in this issue coming up or we just put it out yesterday. I can't remember. But it's an explanation of what happened, and I think it's the closest thing yet. And evidently what they did was they drilled into an asphalt dome. And, of course, there's oil there, but most of it is asphalt, and there's methane gas as well. And evidently they vented it, and then they start putting it on fire by doing different things at the surface, which I won't go into because I'm not a pro at that. I don't know how it works. And as you see, most of the stuff that's washing up is coagulated, or they're balls of tar, so to speak. That's what I'll call it as a non-professional. And this whole thing, they can shut it down anytime they want. They're doing it to get carbon taxes, cap and trade, They want to shut off the drilling in the Gulf because they want the price of oil to go up. They want people to get used to higher prices because if they get carbon legislation, the price of oil will double. And so this is what they're all about here. They're willing, they being the Illuminati, they being the Queen of England, the Queen of the Netherlands, and the Rothschilds, the three biggest shareholders in BP, are willing to sacrifice the company in order to get this accomplished. Of course, they know they're not sacrificing the company, and they'll probably end up paying 20 or 30 or 40 billion dollars or more. But they don't care about that. They want that taxation. And the reason why is the carbon taxation is going to be the guarantee on the new world currency, which would be SDRs, special depository receipts, issued by the UN, and that would be their one world currency. And we've got to stop them because we know what they've done, we know what they're doing, and these state AGs, attorney generals, have got to bring a suit, a criminal action against this whole group and expose what they've done. It's a giant scam.
Well, you're talking to the choir here. The one-armed bandit in New York has merged with the one-armed bandits of Washington, D.C., who control the printing presses. And every time the one-armed bandit loses, they just can print more money and go after the rest. They funnel it through their big funnel, so to speak. I have a question from, I don't even know where it's from, but Mr. Mark Faber came out last week saying he doesn't believe the stock market will go down anymore. Ask Mr. Chapman if he feels the stock market is not going to go down anymore.
No, I think it's going down. And I've always thought that Mark Faber is a Shabbos goat. And you don't sit on the round table in Barron's for 20 or 25 years if you're someone who's outside the box. He's totally controlled. He says what he's told to say. And that's my take on it.
Well, we have all those people out there that have that form. Mr. Chapman, the industrial demand for silver prices is going to go up astronomically in the next few years. Do you agree that this is the driving force behind silver going up?
Well, it's been the driving force since 1967. And it's taken that long to work out off the above-ground inventory as well as what's coming out of the ground. There's a shortfall every single year between demand, which is not being met by production, and that above-ground inventory has been whittled down every year. When it's going to be gone, I don't know. In the next several years for sure. But I can't, time it. I just know it's going to happen. No new big mines are coming on stream that are pure silver plays. 70% of silver is a byproduct of other mining, usually mostly copper. Now, I think silver is selling where it is because of the manipulation of J.P. Morgan Chase and Hong Kong Shanghai Bank, HSBC is what it's called. The major shareholders in HSBC is the Queen of England. The control of Morgan comes from England, from the Queen and others. And Morgan is the biggest shareholder in the Federal Reserve, accompanied by Citigroup, Goldman Sachs, etc. There has been a deliberate attempt for years. In fact, I didn't know it until just recently that they were trying to rig the market in 1968, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. Well, today I can. And, of course, I was the first one to say in August of 19 88 in the Bull and Bear newspaper, which is still in production, that the market was being manipulated. And I didn't even know at the time that the executive order had been signed by Reagan for the Working Group in Financial Markets, which they distorted and use today and since then to manipulate all markets that they want to. And so silver is where it is because of Morgan. Now, at the April meeting of the CFTC, the Commodity Futures Trading Corporation, there was an open meeting, but by invitation only. And one of the people who wanted to go there was Andrew Maguire,